always find your way to higher ground. May you always keep your head held up high. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough. Just the sight of you when I'm at my weakest point makes a world of difference, oh, you make me strong. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough. Ordering a cup of love, feel it rising up and above. You will always keep my heart and soul strong. Plant your seeds and watch them grow. The light will always know where to go. You will always keep my heart.
Well, good morning from the garden. It's Saturday morning and I just got out and spent some quality time giving the garden a good watering. It's not supposed to rain real good for a while yet, so I typically prefer the rain to do its job. But while the seedlings are still young, especially the carrots and onions, they really need a good hearty watering. So if you're new to gardening, watering in the morning is the absolute best time to do it. You don't want to water during the midday sun, and watering at night, certain crops can lead to fungal disease. So you can't always avoid that during the rain, but if you can and you're watering yourself, try to get out early in the morning before the sun comes up and give all your crops a good watering. But guys, I think I told you in the last video, our governor opened up the greenhouses, and I went yesterday. Specifically to get, I go every year, a couple weeks before Mother's Day, to get what I want for my hanging baskets. And I always buy my cold hardy crop starts and herbs. And I had started, as you know, cabbage from seed, and it's just so tiny still. And I saw, let me show you. I saw all these glorious cabbages. And I was like, I want you. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave like 2 as an experiment, just so I know what would happen if I absolutely had to start cabbage from seed here in zone 6A in Michigan. What would happen? Would they make it through how long would it take? All that kind of good information. But these guys, they're my babies. So I'm going to get them planted. I also, I didn't plant, and it was in my garden plan to plant broccoli and Brussels sprouts, but I didn't buy any of those seeds in my garden planning. So I did pick up a few broccoli starts, Brussels sprout starts, and I'm changing things up a bit. Let me show you. So here's where I planted cabbage. My spinach runs down the middle. It's a little spotty in the germination. Some are still coming up, so I don't know, maybe it's just taking longer. And then my plan originally was to plant tomatoes down this back row. I think I'm going to turn this into my brassica bed for the most part. That way, my plan this year is to get a hold of some insect netting to keep the cabbage moths and caterpillars and stuff like that off of the brassicas. They really destroyed my Brussels sprouts last year. So that way it's just one huge row, and I have broccolini at the back. They didn't eat that too bad, but if I had to extend it, I could. We have potatoes popping up now. I don't know if you guys caught that while I was watering the lettuce. My potatoes are coming out of the ground. And my carrots, guys, I was actually having some of that gardener's doubt again. My carrots took 28 days to germinate. And they're popping up. They were popping up, you know, after about, I would say like 17 days. But I feel good now. I'm glad I didn't go through the effort to replant them all, because they're doing great now. So let's get some of these planted, and I'll tell you what's next here in the garden. Okay, so these did just come from the greenhouse yesterday afternoon. What I did for a quick hardening off was I just set them on my back patio and I left them out all overnight and gave them a good watering this morning, and they should do fine transplanting in. Okay, that ended up being all broccoli in that tray. And I think I know why. I mean, I know that I'm basically gonna get, if I'm lucky, a head this size. So to have even some to put away for the winter, you have to grow a lot of broccoli. So I doubt I'm gonna have a ton, but hopefully we'll at least get to enjoy quite a bit of broccoli this year. So let me move on over, and I'm gonna replace a lot of my cabbages, and I'm gonna show you guys though the ones that I'm gonna keep. All right, so I have them spaced out about 10 inches to 12 inches apart. It's pretty close for cabbages. You typically want to go 18 inches apart. We'll see how they do. And then I just filled in a couple of the blank spots where the spinach wasn't coming up good. So that's 24 cabbage plants, half green, half red. So I'm excited. It's gonna look really cute. So here is the purple cabbage. I'm gonna keep that one and pull these out so you guys can clearly see. And then over here, I have two green cabbages. I'm just gonna watch them and see which one does best, and whichever one does best, I'll keep that. Okay, well, doesn't that look awesome? All my cabbage and my broccoli's planted. I still have 8 Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna go put those somewhere else. I'm gonna show you guys where I'm putting those. Kind of makes sense to me, I guess. And I did get an echinacea to plant. It's a perennial, I guess, up to zone 4, so that'll be fun. And what is this one? I don't know, it's just really cute. Oh, daisies. And they both say that they're perennials. I keep all my round center pots in the middle of the garden as flower pots every year. And the more, like, borage is coming back this year, poppies are coming back this year. So the more perennials I can plant, the less I have to manage every single year. So we're gonna go over now and get these Brussels sprouts planted. I'm over here now at the end of my lettuce and potato bed. Sweet potatoes are gonna go on the front of this bed, and I may intermix cucumbers in with the sweet potatoes. They did really good last year. Cucumbers are gonna grow on top of the ground, so harvesting them won't disturb the sweet potatoes, and the sweet potatoes grow under the ground. The trick is just finding the cucumbers amidst all the sweet potato vines. But it takes advantage of densely planting in one space. But right here is potatoes popping up. All these little green bits down this row is all my potatoes. They just broke ground yesterday. But I'm back here and I have this trellis you guys saw last time. And I think I'm going to, let me scoot you guys back. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to draw like a diagonal line towards the corners and plant my sweet Brussels sprouts, I mean. I'll space these about a foot apart. You guys are really crooked, I'm sorry. Somebody gave me lots of ideas, thank you guys, for what to grow on my trellis. And so far I have picked up 2 cardinal morning glories. I always grow the blue ones. These are bright red, so those are going to be beautiful. I'm going to plant 2 in there. Okay. Maybe you guys can see that spacing all around. So I'm basically going to just do them a foot apart. And that way if I want to grow anything else in the middle, like whether it's cucumbers, more peas in the fall, up the trellis, I still have space inside to do that. That's why you guys couldn't see. I was zoomed way in. Okay, let's get to planting. Oh, thank you too. I forgot to mention when I was over planting the broccoli, one of my viewers told me that they really, or actually several people probably did, that they really like their roots tightly packed. So I'm making sure I'm doing that with all my brassicas this year. If you guys didn't catch when I made the beds this year, some of you might be questioning why I'm not putting fertilizer in the hole when I plant them. I did put a lot of amendments in my bed at the beginning of the season, and this is being planted straight into good, rich, organic compost. That is that. So 11 Brussels sprouts planted. I don't know if you guys can see, I put the 2 morning glories right in the middle of the trellis. So those usually take here in Michigan all the way till September to really bloom out. So I'll be interested to see if these behave any differently. The last 2 things I have to plant this morning are the echinacea and daisies. I have so many seeds planted in here and I have no idea. I know these are poppies. My sage is still doing good here. I'm gonna plant my echinacea there and I'll plant my daisies in this one. But tell me guys down in the comments, what have you got going on in your garden? Oh, what's coming up next? So beans will probably likely be the very next thing that I get planted out here. It's gonna get chilly next week. So I'm not going to, oh, this soil is amazing in here. I'm not going to chance putting them in the ground just this weekend like I had planned. I'm going to wait till next weekend after this little, like it's going to get down to like, I think like 38. So I'm just not going to chance it, my germination, I guess, in wasting seeds. And then I will probably start on things like cucumbers, zucchini. Oh, and my sweet potato slips should be showing up in the next couple weeks. But everything is greening up here beautifully. I don't think I showed you, oh yeah, you guys saw my peas at the beginning when I was watering them. I love them. So anyway, guys, happy gardening. Ugh. I got out here like first thing after doing morning chores. I just love it. Talk to you guys later.